Hello everyone! Today we are going to look at a few Wilds of Eldraine cards and see how they might affect the 3-card blind format. Let's start off with Fell Horsemen. Fell Horsemen has a very similar effect to Murderous Rider in that when it dies it goes to the bottom of its owner's library, which means in combination with Bottomless Vault, you can loop the card over and over no matter how many times it gets killed, provided you have enough time to do so. The trade-off for using Fell Horsemen over Murderous Rider, of course, is that the adventure portion of Murderous Rider is removal just attached to the card, whereas Fell Horsemen offers a little more utility where you can loop a second creature along with it. I think it is a little too slow for the format, but it's a super cool card nonetheless. Next, let's take a look at Spiteful Hexmage. Spiteful Hexmage is a 1-cost 3/2, but has the drawback of creating a cursed roll token that you have to attach to a creature you control. We do have a couple of ways that we can leverage this though. One is we can play Rograk, which will leave us with a vanilla 3/2 and a 1/1 with First Strike, Menace, and Trample. Our other option here is to use an Underground Sea and pair Spiteful Hexmage with Aura Finesse, so that we will have Spiteful Hexmage carry the Wicked roll itself, and then we can put that roll onto one of our opponent's creatures if they put a creature into play. Our next card is Hopeless Nightmare, which is interesting because it serves as a card that can force our opponent both to discard a card, as well as it could become a win condition if we combine it with Tel Gilad Stylus. With Tel Gilad Stylus, we can open up the game by playing Hopeless Nightmare, forcing our opponent to discard a card, which will hopefully put them at enough of a disadvantage that by looping Hopeless Nightmare every turn with the Stylus and doing 2 loss of life every turn, we'll be able to outrace whatever threat they may have left. Although this is a really nifty combination, I find it hard to believe that it's going to perform better than the Rack plus something like Thoughtseize, but it's totally worth keeping your eye on. Alright, I've saved the best for last, which is Sleep Cursed Fairy. It is a 1-cost 3/3 flyer with Ward 2, but it comes into play tapped with 3 stun counters on it, so it is going to take a while for it to come online, but a 3/3 for 1 is very large, and in 3-card blind that's really all you need to be the aggressor in a game. My main concern for this card is it simply doesn't outpace a lot of the standard 1-mana threats that the format has to offer, notably Chronomaton, which costs the same amount, can be played in virtually any deck, and is going to get significantly bigger than a 3/3 quite quickly. The saving grace for Sleep Cursed Fairy is definitely that Ward 2. A lot of 3-card blind decks don't carry a lot of extra mana around, so Ward 2 is basically as close as you can get to being hexproof without actually having hexproof. That pretty much wraps up the cards that I think are good in 3-card blind from Wilds of Eldraine. None of these to me read as cards that are going to turn the format upside down or anything, but there are definitely some cool brews you can come up with using these cards. As we wrap up, I'd like to remind everyone that submissions for the tournament running through September are going to open on September 1st. All Wilds of Eldraine cards will be legal, both from the main set and the commander set for Wilds of Eldraine, and you will have until September 7th to submit your decks through the website linked in the description of the video. I'm really excited to see what you all brew up. Thanks for watching everyone, see you soon.